What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Minding My Business podcast. You are tuned in to the #1 platform to launch or scale your business by transforming your business mindset. Yes, it's your man, JD August. I'm going to be your host today. Today, we are discussing faith plus works equals productivity. This is the ultimate game changer. If you want to change the rhythm and the routine of what you have been experiencing in your business, in your entrepreneurship journey, then you are watching the right episode. First of all, you know I like to wear hats, and today's hat is brought to you by my friends over at Judson Real Estate in Escondido, California. Real estate can be a little tricky to navigate. If you are looking for a group of professionals that will do their absolute best to make sure that you get the right property, or you understand how to invest in real estate, I want you to contact Lynn Judson and her team at Judson Real Estate. Remember to like and subscribe so you can get notified about all the new episodes that's going to be uploaded right here for the Minding My Business podcast, and share this with a friend if you find something that they will find value in. Let's get right into it. The ultimate game changer. Faith plus works equals productivity. Now, I think people really have, well, at least some people, have a misperception when it comes to that word faith, or we can also use the word belief, because you hear people talking about jumping out into blind faith and just leaping into the business world, their relationships, or whatever they are endeavoring to do with blind faith. And here's the first myth buster of this podcast that I got to give to you. Faith is not blind. Oh man, we got to get into this. Faith is not blind. So let's start off talking about faith, the belief of what you anticipate or expect will come out of whatever you are putting your energy into. This is so critical to have, because how can you go anywhere if you don't believe that you can get there? It's one of the first things that you have to do as a business owner and an entrepreneur is to map out where you anticipate that you will land. This goes back again to writing down your goals and your targets. You hear me say this almost every episode, but my question is, have you started doing it yet? Have you started writing down your goals so that you can map out where you're going to go? Until you do, you haven't put the works, and that's why you don't have the productivity. See, I believe that belief is built on a couple of things that as a business owner that you're going to need. Number one, your belief, your faith is built on experience. You are able to believe something is going to happen because you have experienced it happening before. There are things that have been deemed impossible by others, but it's not until someone else actually does it, causes us to experience it, that we come to the knowledge to know that, man, that's not impossible. That's actually something that can be done. Someone coming up in an impoverished situation and rising up to get their degree or to achieve the highest levels of success may seem impossible to someone who is at the bottom floor of that reality, until they see and experience someone who's already done it before. So your faith, your belief in what you want to achieve must be grounded in some type of experience. If you are looking to go into a certain industry or business, what could you do to gain some experience? Could you do some part-time work or an internship that will allow you to see the inner workings of that business, and also to gain the experience so that you can see, man, this is not impossible. You might even be surprised when you see some of the people that are accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish. And even having that experience, not to say that you're better than someone else, but you know for a fact, if you see someone doing something and you know you can do it, and maybe even better, that will give you the confidence and the experience that you need to have the belief that you can do it as well. Take for a second the role of a recruiter. A recruiter doesn't know who you are personally. All they can do is look at that sheet of paper, that resume, and they look at your experience. And from them analyzing your experience, they have the belief that you are worth the next interview, or you are worth a call to bring you in so that they can learn a little bit more about what you can do. But without that resume, they don't have the faith. No one's just giving you a call saying, hey, I just heard about you. I haven't seen anything on you, but I know you can do the job. Just doesn't happen. And the reason why it just doesn't happen is because there has to be an experience that has been built. Experience is a real life, real world opportunity for you to be able to see something working in real time. And if that doesn't build your faith, if that doesn't give you the confidence that you need to be able to move forward, then you might just be lacking a lot of faith and belief in yourself. Now, the second thing that you can use to build your faith is going to be information. The more that you gather information, the more that you can believe something. Let's say you give yourself an experience where you are now able to be in the environment in which you want to dominate, the one that you want to excel in. The next thing that you want to do is gather information while you are there. You should be taking notes, asking questions, and gathering the information that's going to, again, propel your belief. And you need that belief to be successful. One of the greatest travesties of human existence is when people stop gathering information. When you know it all, seen it all, done it all, and you can't hear nothing or receive information, you're in a really bad place, because the world keeps growing in information, doesn't it? Like, imagine if you didn't learn or gather information on how the internet works. How would you be watching me right now? See, information keeps you relevant, and it also keeps you sharp. So that way you are able to take what you know and apply what you know so that you can see the results of it. When I think of information, I think of scientists, or if you were ever in a science class, you had to do an experiment. In that experiment, we gathered information, and then we used that information to create a hypothesis of what we anticipated should and could happen. See, information was that critical point that allowed you to be able to solidify what you believed was going to happen. So gather information to go ahead and to build your belief. The beautiful thing about information is that it's available everywhere. You just have to be willing to do the research. See, seeking out the information. And that's why scientists are so successful. That's why engineers are so successful, is because they are not creating the greatest designs, robots. You think of Elon Musk and some of the things that he's been able to accomplish. This didn't just happen because he woke up and believed one day he would create robots. There was research, and that provided him critical information that allowed him to know it was possible. So here's some things that I would recommend that you do. Write down the areas that you need to research in your business. Research what the industry is currently doing at large. Research what skills you're going to need to be able to excel and even set yourself apart from others so that you can know that you'll make a difference. I want you to research until you're done researching, and then when you're done researching, research some more. Gather the information. I know running and diving headfirst feels like you're taking the best action, but that's probably one of the biggest reasons why businesses fail, is because people won't stop for a moment to do the research and to make sure that they understand what they are looking at. Now, the third thing that's going to help you build your faith is probability. You got to make a hypothesis. What's going to happen when I take this experience, research this information, and then I start to put it to work? See, a probability is the same thing as you writing down your goals. So when you write down your goals, you're not writing them down blindly, but you're really just doing math. Hey, if I calculate 1 + 1, it's going to equal 2, and 2 are better than 1. You know that, right? So the probabilities, let's get the probability up in your business. So how can we get the probability to shift on our side a little bit? You know, statistics show that a large portion of small businesses fail, and those are some low probabilities. So to get that to shift, I mean, just think about this. How do you know that a stove is hot? How do you know that if you touch a hot stove, you're going to burn your hand? It's because you have applied all the other elements that I've talked about. You've either had an experience where you have felt the heat off of a stove, or you have done the done thing and actually touched the thing, and you have burnt yourself before, so you have an experience to go off of. You have gathered information. You can see what the knob is on the stove, that it's high. You can put another item on the stove and see that it burns. And hey, the probability of me touching this stove and it burning my hand is probably 99.99999%. So probability is simple when you start to add the elements of experience, experiment, research, and information all together. So let's talk about that from the business side. How do I set my business on fire? We know it takes a lot of action for a business to thrive. So I want you to think to yourself, hey, where's my action button right now? What knob is it turned on? Am I taking a low amount of actions, a medium amount of actions, or do I have this burner turned all the way up? And that's going to give you a higher probability of succeeding. Networking is not what you know, but who you know is a key factor. So where's your networking right now? Is it on low? Is it on medium? Or do you have that baby turned all the way up? Gathering information, same exact thing. Also, your revenue and being able to acquire the tools that you need. So of course you got to research and know what tools are going to be important for you to be able to be successful. And then what you can do is do the probability. Where do I have that? How many tools do I have available to me to use? Do I have the tools necessary to be able to deliver the service that I want to deliver? How can you be a plumber and you don't have a plunger? The probability of you being successful as a plumber is going to be low because you simply don't have the tools. So identify what tools are important for your industry and then go out and make a plan to get it. And the more that you have the tools, the information, the network, and the actions, making the calls, showing up for the visits and the meetings, doing everything that is there for your business to thrive, guess what's going to happen? The probability of you succeeding goes all the way up. Simple as that. And the last thing that's going to help you build your faith is the action. Is actually taking the action. Faith plus works. So even the works build your faith. And the reason why is because when you actually apply what you believe, now there's no more guesswork because you get to see what the result is. Now, if the result isn't exactly what you want, you now have data to be able to analyze, and you can start shifting the actions in the places where you are putting your energy. But the action is really the proof in the pudding. It's the tasting of the cake to see if it's good. You can't do it until you've done it. So if you're catching what I'm putting down, it's time for you to explore the opportunities around you by actually taking action. I've been talking about writing down your goals, and I'm just curious, mine and my business community, how many of you have started writing down your goals? Your faith in that process working won't actually be to the level of where it needs to be until you start writing down your goals. And when you do the action, you'll see the result, and that will increase your belief. It kind of works in a circle. So same exact thing. Make the phone call, and from the phone call, then when you take that action, you will see what you need to learn. You'll analyze your shift, and then it will increase your faith because you realize, man, that was my first phone call, and I was really close to closing the deal. Until you take action, you may be sitting in a room full of doubt, just unsure and uncertain on if something is going to work. And that's almost the definition of blind faith. I'm reminded of this story of some guys, 3 guys that showed up to a competition, and it was at a pool, and inside the pool were full of sharks. And there was a king there, and the king said that anyone who jumps into this pool and swims to the other side is going to win the hand of my daughter. Well, the first guy was like, no way, I'm not doing it. He didn't have the belief or the faith that he could make it across and dodge those sharks. Second guy said, you got to be kidding me. There's no way I'm jumping into that pool. I'm not swimming across. And he also did not have the faith. And the third guy, when they got to him, jumped right into the pool and swam across the pool, and he got to the end. And when he got to the end, the reporter asked him, said, man, how did you have the faith that you were going to be able to swim across? And he said, I didn't. I just want to know who pushed me in the pool. What's the premise of that story? Sometimes you don't have the faith, and until action is taken, and sometimes you need a little bit of a push. So consider this, y'all. Push. Jump in the pool, see what happens, swim across, and get to the other side of what you are looking for. Mine and my business family, I believe in you. And I believe in you because you're watching this right now. You took an action to develop yourself, and you're right here. Take another action, click the like button, subscribe, and please come back because you know we're going to be here helping you to mind your business. I'm your host, JD August. Take care, y'all.